Hi guys, after a short break we're now looking at Dogecoin. We're seeing the weekly chart, and over the past 3 weeks there's still 23 hours for this week's candle, but it seems like it's more or less settled. Basically the price came down from the automatic rally, assuming we have already entered the Wyckoff accumulation cycle. However, there's still a chance, even though if you look at these levels, the PS and SC over here and the PS and SC over here, they are, or even this one, they are more or less around the same level. There's still a chance that the price can go lower, just like here. After selling climax, there's still more tests, that goes lower than the selling climax itself. So even if this SC is correct, there's still a chance for the price to test the bottom of the white box that's around 5 cents. And looking at what the volume is telling us, seems the selling isn't going more and more rapid. Instead, the volume is coming down. That may be a relieving sign for some that afraid for the price to go lower. However, this, remember, hasn't finished yet. This green bar, taller green volume bar over here, pretty much got a lot of change of hands. Whether there are still, during that week in mid-May, there were still people offloading their stocks to whoever, thinking that this rebound is going to continue, not knowing if this is really an automatic rally, then the price will return and come down to test the low again. That's why there's a little bit of sell-off over here, and we can see this white line, the top edge of the white box. It's where the price eventually open and close around. And now that we're inside the white box, let's take a look at the daily chart and see whether there's any indication. So basically, if you remember, this yellow line that we have drawn many weeks back extended from this during March, basically last year. So March last year, what's that? March last year is basically this PSY period, okay, before the price get to the buying climax. So as of this moment, seems this yellow line still provides a relatively strong support. So remember, I draw this line using somewhere in the middle of these active trading activities. So it's not exactly the middle of the blue box. If we really move this down a little, well, obviously it doesn't violate too much. Whatever happened here is still among the frequent trading activities, basically around the peaks over here. So if you want to play safer, you can move it up to closer to the peaks or somewhere among the middle of the peaks. So that both works. It's still a good reference point where it tells us we have to be careful. So the price basically bounces up from around this yellow line, whether you draw it higher or lower like this. The key is this range. So I think last session or even the session before, I mentioned this, the purple, sorry, not the purple, the blue box and the yellow box basically drives the price actions for most of the period since beginning of March this year. So basically almost 3 months back now, we are seeing this. And currently there isn't much we can track except this. So assuming we are in a downward trend, if I zoom in, it'll be clearer for you. So that's what we are looking at. So you can make it tighter or like make it wider, it's up to you. Because if you're like pushing your stop loss and like instead of guessing the exact price point, this still works. If you want a line chart and set it tighter, that's also fine. What we're trying to get to here is basically this. Yep, so that's pretty much where we want to get to. So this downward channel. So you can see bounce from the top, got to the lower bottom, but being affected by the white box, so there was some horizontal action, and then eventually got to this little triangle over here, got trapped, and then it must either break up or break down, right? And obviously, if we look at the Wyckoff distribution cycle, it's more natural for the price to come down over there. So eventually the price came down, but then it bounced from the bottom edge of the box. When I say horizontal in this case, along the center line of the box. So if I change it back to the candles, you can pretty much draw a line across here, and you see this is kind of, if you tilt it or rotate this rectangle and the center line, it's very much sideways for our 2 days, and then came down to the bottom and then retest the top edge currently as of today. So this price at around 18 cents 30 is actually the top edge of the downward channel or the playground zone. And if it doesn't close above, then it'll come down to test it. Remember the yellow line, and eventually, again, you've got your smart eyes to tell like there's a triangle over here as well. So we are getting closer, like near the end of the week, we will be the tip of this triangle formed between the yellow line and the blue, this little downward blue box. So what a coincidence, like I mentioned in the other sessions, this weekend, the coming weekend, is actually when the G7 summit is going to take place. So what's going to, like, the result of that is likely to drive like a breakout of prices of different assets, or like if there is a split or like uncertainty coming out from that summit, that's a possible scenario for the price to come further down. So be really cautious. It's not a time to be overly optimistic, and that's pretty much for Dogecoin.